Great, that was good. I'm just thinking, I realized that we don't actually see you in this scene, it's just your voice with the image of the water. So what we could do is actually, because we don't see you, we can maybe take more breaks in the audio and then piece it together, if that makes sense.
I can see myself. You can't.
No, I can see you now. But in the actual film,
Yes.
this scene will be just the sound of your voice and the flood, the water image.
So I don't need the set.
Well, not only for this. I think you'll need the set for some later. So if I do this, you can still see me, right?
I can see you. Yeah.
Yeah. And now if I do this,
I see Tavistock Institute, but if I see two screens.
Mm-hmm.
And we could also do it on a mono. If you swap to just one image, then you have only me, I think.
Yes, on the 1 second. On the view.
Yeah, so if I speak, then oh, now I see myself. That's funny. This is a short documentary where we are also going to tell you a bit about the ideas behind it.
The year is 2061. After a global drought and a series of flash floods, the landmass of the world has decreased by 35%. The United Nations, a newly formed Global Citizen Assembly, have agreed to propose pilot of a decommissioning scheme, whereby citizens are decommissioned. The Earth is too big, too full, too much. It is hoped that decommissioning a section of humanity that we act as a release valve of some of the pressure that has been building in society. In order to make this process as humane and useful as possible, it has been agreed that the participants will be given the opportunity to complete a number of exercises, which will be tested for their usefulness as mutually meaningful ending ritual.
In this documentary, we follow the pilot subjects through this process. The participants have been selected, but the selection process remains a mystery.
Hi everyone, lovely to meet you. I'm Ella.
Hey, sup, I'm Sigrid.
Henry.
Ruff! Fuck's sake. All right, I'm Rick.
So there's instructions on the table. I guess I'll read them out.
Go ahead.
Earth. In this exercise, you are provided with clay, given the opportunity to create something to leave on Earth, a legacy, or perhaps something for your family and friends to remember you by.
Does anyone else not wonder why us? Why we've been selected for this bloody process?
I don't know, man, but I figure that this is a journey and maybe even kind of exciting, so I'm kind of up for it.
Really? I hadn't thought of it that way. I was just seeing the end bit as really hard. But I've been talking to people about how it feels like the right thing to do, and I'd rather it was myself than my wife or my children.
Drakey puts his paw in the clay.
It would perhaps be nice to get to know each other a bit, since we're all going to be together in this process. Make it less lonely, perhaps?
What I'd like to know is why we're all white. Seems a bit fishy to me, seems like some woke bollocks to me. Rick is a character based on a number of men that I've met working in secure mental health services. I wanted him to be represented in this group, as I thought he brought a really different dimension to the idea of the straight white male. Rick might be white, straight and male, but he grew up experiencing various kinds of abuse. Poverty, witnessing and experiencing domestic violence, and eventually he went into care, where the abuse didn't stop. And he got moved around through various placements. He really doesn't identify with being privileged and articulates this quite roughly at times.
Right. Well, let's just get on with it anyway. I have to say, art isn't really my thing. I'm more sporty. So I think I'm going to make a cricket bat. Something to leave my sons. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to do something with fractals, I think. For me, there's something really powerful, or something representing my female body, maybe something around the breast area. I'm not surprised that Henry has made a beeline for Siegfried. She's a bit of a wild child. She's reckless, irresponsible. She's experienced too much of the things of life, which makes her really sad. But the way she translates that is this sort of dark glamour. She seeks out orgasm, drugs, anything to escape and blow her mind, really, which can be really seductive.
Henry is, in a way, the opposite of Rick. He's grown up straight, white, male and safe. He's aware of his own privilege, but feels endlessly frustrated by his lack of satisfaction, feeling like he doesn't really have purpose, despite his life being picture perfect. He's done all the right things, been educated, good at sport, built a home and family, but underneath feels a bit restless. He sometimes notices a burning anger at other people who seem happier and more fulfilled, which he doesn't really understand.
Those sound really good ideas. I don't think I'm going to use the clay, actually. I've always been really into singing. I don't know if I'd ever made it as a singer, but it's definitely been something I've been working towards. And I know that my family will value a song if I write it for them. Cries. We chose to base the character Ella on the archetypal white female in the media, the kind of young woman who can make the headlines if they go missing. Young, attractive, and in a way just on the brink of being able to move out of that box.
Drakey comforts Ella. Why did we put in a dog? To break people's hearts. Drakey is a really solid character. He's really decent, innocent, but also part of climate change.
Task 2, water. A notable phenomenon over the years has been that humanity has decimated the planet, has been out of sight, out of mind. In this task, the participants are taken to a flooded region to view this and reflect on their own personal actions with a view of producing a collective statement to offer to those remaining.
Humanity sucks. It really does. There's something kind of beautiful, too, about the planet fighting back.
But really, what's this fucking got to do with me? I hate it. It's awful, all these people dying and stuff. But literally all I've done is be abused all my fucking life. And now somehow this is my fault. Fuck you. Fuck the lot of you.
I'm really sorry. It really sucks that you're in this position after everything that you've been through.
He needs to get a grip, really. He's not the only one in this position. Can I have some of that spliff?
Still upset about your cricket bat, huh?
Drakey pants in the breeze.
So, what do you reckon they're going to do for a collective statement?
You want a group of people to agree on something? I mean, my guy, he's absolutely not going to agree to anything this lot are saying.
I mean, I think Ella would probably be able to make a really nice, profound statement. And possibly Henry and Siegfried will go along with it.
I actually think she's been waiting for this moment her entire life. It's an opportunity to do something really intense. I think the statement will mean a lot to her, actually. I think she might need to lead on this one.
I think he's just going to be totally overwhelmed by the whole thing. He knows how to write board reports, to articulate himself, but I think he's just out of his depth with this one.
He's good, you know. He's happy, I guess. He's in the moment. It's weird how we actually do euthanize dogs, so we kind of have an idea of his frame of mind beforehand, as there's a precedent for it. I guess, though, with reflecting on humanity, I honestly don't know.
So, do we have a statement?
Do we think that they'd make a statement, or do you just think they'd do them all individually?
I reckon they'd decide to do individual ones, but all get a bit overwhelmed by the task and leave Siegfried to it and reluctantly hand that in.
Yeah, I think her statement would be good, really good, but perhaps too much of her. It'll be brilliantly written, but just not at all representative of, you know, a guy who's been in and out of prison all his life, or, you know, a dog.
Yeah, and I think although they know it's good, I think they will all really want their voices in there somewhere. I know Ella seems to be this relatively 2D character who might go along with things for the sake of it, of peace. But I think if there's some dissent from the others, she'd also at least want to add in a bit of her own thoughts.
I reckon they'll definitely want to leave behind something rather than leave the task undone. So I think they'd hand in what she'd done, but possibly adding in random bits from each other. Maybe as a bit of an addendum.
And they'll get to that point, and then my dude, he just ain't going to be having any of it, which will be really, really awkward for them.
Task 3. Fire.
The United Nations and Citizens Assembly recognized that the decision for the participants to be decommissioned may be a painful one. The next task offers a use of fire.
I'm burning the word achievement because I've realised I've always been trying to achieve, to live up to something, and I've achieved, but I just don't feel I've come to the end of my life as I would have wanted to.
I'm burning the names of the people who fucked me up. I wish I could burn them.
Cats.
I don't want to burn anything. There's nothing I've wanted to burn that much. Apart from this. I just wish I could burn this and wake up tomorrow back in my life.
I'm burning the word humanity because honestly, we fucked this right up, this beautiful planet.
Why have none of them burnt the Tory party?
Task 4. Air. The participants have moved through earth, water, fire, and have reached the stage of air. During this session, they will be placed in a room with a vapor that will give them a sense of euphoria, a relaxation, before the process of decommissioning begins.
Are you kidding? We can't do that.
Why not? Oh shit. Yeah, that's a horrible idea.
Am I missing something here? It seems like the obvious next step is going through the elements.
Oh, this is horrible.
The Holocaust, killing people with gas, euthanasia to solve a problem. This is absolutely hideous.
Absolutely hideous. Shit.
Oh yes, I get it. Do you think people will really take it that way though? I thought the whole thing about this would be to make a point about climate change, that we're going to lose land mass, and inevitably people will be dying.
Yeah, I see that. The point still stands, but just thinking about whether people will actually be really hurt by it. I mean, it's gross. It's really gross. But I wonder if that in a way it makes it more profound. Just thinking about whether it will help people to get to the point in a way. When you think about it, we are essentially decommissioning the Maldives, Vietnam, all the port cities in Bangladesh. Maybe this will get people to actually sit up and listen. And in a way, whether we like it or not, the West are currently committing mass genocide 20 years or so into the future.
I really don't know. I get your point, but I'm just thinking about this institute, our reputation. Will people really get what we are trying to say? I really don't want people to feel like we are making light of the Holocaust for some little film.
But do we want it to be some little film? Do we want people to talk about this work, to actually think about climate change and the consequences of this? Or are we doing this so people would go home feeling like they've seen an interesting film? Or to go home disturbed?
I guess just taking out the S section just wouldn't work.
It would be weird. Why isn't it there? Are we not brave enough to go there? Do you think the comparison is just too much? Or is it a cop-out to not upset people when they should be upset about what's going on?
So we end this film unclear. What is art supposed to do? In this film, we wanted to make people wake up to the impact of climate change. And that if we don't do something now, there will not be enough land mass for the human population to live. What we've done is create a product which feels incredibly insensitive to the suffering of the people who died in the Holocaust. The Jews, the Roma and Sinti people, the beggars, drug addicts, prostitutes, people with disabilities, Black people, the homosexuals, Jehovah's Witnesses, and all other groups impacted by the Holocaust. Or is it? We have plenty of information about climate change from scientists, from activists, from citizens, yet it does not seem to be fully penetrating hearts and minds. Can we, as artists, use our skills in order to disturb people enough to wake up?